other thing that I watched was a TMZ video. This one like really upset me. So the guy, he works at TMZ, but he also has a podcast. I think he did this on purpose.
Did work at TMZ. He's not there anymore.
Oh, did he get fired?
Yeah, he got fired. He got fired for choking out a white employee. So that's always a good look. There's a moment in that podcast where I can tell, like, I call him out for getting visibly angry with me, which he intended to do.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, why would you just assume that I'm a violent person?"
My father made a racist joke to me and my girlfriend. He said, "At least your girlfriend's only and not all the way." And I know the joke makes you uncomfortable, but I'm trying to point, or me using the word makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The punchline of the joke is, I go, "No, Dad, like, is way worse."
Let me ask you a question.
Oh, you're not listening.
I am listening.
Okay.
Why would you say that again if I told you that it made me uncomfortable?
I'm telling you the full joke.
If what you're saying is so important to you, you wanna transport me to a place of uncomfortability. I told you I didn't want to go.
Person, and then you fast forward many years later, he gets fired for choking out an employee that he had a disagreement with. So I was like, well, I think I nailed that one right on the head.
So he was the host of Red Pill Podcast.
Yeah, Van Lathan.
Yeah, Van Lathan. What's his last name? Lathan?
Yeah, Lathan.
And he had this Red Pill podcast. He also used to work at TMZ. He got Josh to go on the show, and I think he wanted you to say the N-word.
Well, we had I talked about this on my podcast. We had a conversation before the show because the podcast was about two things. It was about my opinion on what I tweeted that was controversial. Then the second piece was, what do I think about the usage of the N-word in comedy and art and everything else, and do I think it's okay for white comics to use it? And so before we started the show, I asked him, hey, do you have any language restrictions? Because we're going to have a real conversation about this, and I'm not going to self-censor, but I'm not going to be disrespectful on your show. Like, I don't just jump on people's podcasts and start screaming the N-word, but I don't self-censor it on my show because that's my choice. I'm not going to make that choice for other people. So he goes, no, me, say what you want, and if the network decides to bleep you, we'll bleep you. But, you know, he's like, I want to have a real conversation. And then the second I started talking about jokes and using the word in my jokes, he blew up and got super offended. And it was funny because my girlfriend was sitting on the couch behind him. You can't see her, but I could see her out of my peripheral just shaking her head like, you motherfucker, like you set that up in real life.
Okay. So have you gotten any backlash from like black people? Do black people like you?
Yeah, of course, black people. I have tons of black fans. Yeah. Well,
and you like them?
Let's not say tons, but yeah, of course I like black people.
Okay. All right.
I enjoy them.
You enjoy them?
Yeah, I enjoy black people.
Math on that? Just Kermit and Friends.
Yes, this is Kenneth from Texas.
Thank you for calling in.
I was wanting to give my take in regards to the N-word use.
Okay, perfect.
My take on it is basically you have to watch how the term is actually used.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Because some people may use it for just the hanging, slang terminology around their type of people. But if someone,
what about you? Wait, is your name Ken?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for calling in. Ken is one of the stars of the Wendy Pack podcast, and Ken is saying something. I think you're right on. The only thing that I'm saying is like, when you think of comedy, I want to have joy, right? When I go to a comedy show, I want to experience joy and feel joy and be taken out of, my hard work week, any problems that I'm having. When I go to a comedy show or I experience comedy, I kind of want it to be light. And like, it's fine to talk about hard topics, but do we have to bring up like a word that is so, it's a bad word. We have to admit that it's a bad word. It has a negative connotation to it. It's against black people. And now we're using it in comedy. A white guy with red hair is using it in comedy multiple times. I cannot even find his joke because he has so many jokes with the N-word in it. Is that okay? Ken?
Like I've said, it depends really on how the term is actually used.
Okay. All right, Ken. I think you're right. I think you're right.
Said by someone to someone inside of their circle, then I would figure the term would be okay. But if someone outside of their circle comes up to them and says that particular term, those type of people may find that term offensive.
Okay, so maybe Josh is in a big gang or group of people and they all use the N-word and that's fine? Is that what you're saying?
But if someone else outside of that particular circle comes up to him and says it, that type of people may find that term offensive.
Okay, very good. I agree with you. You're wonderful, Ken. Much love to you. Call in anytime, okay?